Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the ATFFBall show. Today, we're going to take a break in case for the Super Bowl, and we're going to go over a mock draft that I'll be doing right here, right now, and just kind of give you my thought process when I'm doing a fantasy football mock draft, just kind of who I'm going to pick based on what was picked ahead of time. I'll let you guys know who was picked before my pick, just to kind of let you guys know how I go into a mock draft or even a real draft for fantasy football and just kind of what my thought process is. And yeah, I hope this helps out a lot. So today we're just going to be, I'm just going to be doing a mock draft with CPU. So they're going to pick by ADP, which is average draft pick. So based on real users, where that player usually gets picked, and the CPU just takes the best player available. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I lobby up for with other real people, they usually make a couple dumb picks that your league, when they actually draft, probably won't make because people don't seem to care since it's just a mock draft. So it's not you're not really getting much practice out of that. So I'm going to be going into an actual CPU mock draft. Now, my favorite spot for this draft is actually spot 11. So this is a 12-man half PPR league, and it has 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 2 flex. I like having 2 flex, which is you can have wide receiver, running back, or tight end there. And then for mock drafts, I do no kickers and no defenses, just because those are usually your last couple picks anyways. So I mean, I anyways prefer to play without a kicker, but the defense, I'm just leaving that out because it's a mock draft. In real leagues, I usually like having defenses. But anyways, yeah, so I like having spot 11, and the reason for that is because usually I can get Joe Mixon. Now, you could probably get Joe Mixon at spot 11 waiting for your spot to come back so that you're in the second pick at round 2, but I like being safe and getting him at spot 11 just because he's one of my must-have players for this draft, so let's get into the draft. All right, so Saquon Barkley went first, then Michael Thompson, Christian McCaffrey. That's kind of surprising. Had a couple wide receivers go off the board: Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara went off as well. Tyreek Hill went off, and Joe Mixon went right before me. That being said, though, the CPU did leave a very good player. Now, Dalvin Cook may drop because he's yet to play a full season yet. He always gets injured sooner or later. So I'm going to go ahead and take him right here at spot 11. Now, you probably won't usually get him this late, but you can get him a little bit later than he should go. This is a great pick for right here, so let's go ahead and take Dalvin Cook, get us our RB1. Now, it's going to snake it to me right after these next couple picks. So the 2 picks right before came right back to me was Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs. So on the board for running backs, I want to get another running back here since there's really good running backs. That being said, there is Chris Godwin left. And as we all know, Tom Brady loves to throw to the slot guy. So that might mean that Chris Godwin might even get more productive this year while Mike Evans gets less productive. So I'm going to go ahead here. There's Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, and Leonard Fournette are the top running backs left. So I'm thinking maybe we just go run one of those running backs, get us a great stack, but at the same time, Chris Godwin's still there, and he is one of the top wide receivers for this next year. So with the CPUs already picking a lot of wide receivers and it being half PPR, I'm going to do something I usually don't do and pick a wide receiver in the second round. So we got Chris Godwin on our team now. After us, Derrick Henry went, then George Kittle, then Leonard Fournette, then Aaron Jones, then Patrick Mahomes, first QB, then Lamar Jackson, and Travis Kelce, Amari Cooper, Melvin Gordon, Kenny Golladay, Chris Carson, Miles Sanders, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, unsurprising, Le'Veon Bell, Deebo Samuel, Devonta Freeman doesn't even have a team right now, Tyler Lockett, Keenan Allen, and now we're back on the clock. So now I definitely want to get a second running back, and right here in round 3 is Austin Eckler, who I have borderline RB1, so right at like the 13 spot in a half PPR, so he's a great running back to add right here, so we're going to go ahead and get him. Great 1-2 RB, and then we got a great wide receiver 1 with us. So Austin Eckler's on the team. Then before us, since it's snake draft, we're going just a little bit, so 2 picks before us, Devin Singletary and Kelvin Ridley. Let's look at the wide receivers now. So for wide receiver, we could go and get Adam Thielen. We know that Stephon Diggs is gone. That being said, Adam Thielen's getting a little older and the age is a question, plus the injuries are always a question with him as well. There's Allen Robinson. He's interesting, but not sure I want to get him this high. There is A.J. Brown. Robert Woods as well. Robert Woods started to get a lot more snaps than Cooper Kupp towards the end of the season. Stephon Diggs is still there. I don't trust him because Josh Allen doesn't throw the deep ball that well. DJ Chark is still there. That's probably who I would end up going if I did go wide receiver. But we're going to take a look at the RBs real quick. So at running back, we've got Mark Ingram, who he's in an interesting situation with J.K. Dobbins there. James Conner, who might bounce back. You've got Marlon Mack, who knows, he might still be it. But who I'm going to go with is Kenyon Drake. He's still down here, round 4. So now we've got Delvin Cook and Austin Eckler in our RB1 and 2 spot, and then Kenyon Drake in our flex. And you might be wondering, why did I pick three running backs before even picking 2 wide receivers? And the reason for this is because I always do this. In the first 4 rounds, I almost always take 3 running backs. Why? Because running backs thin out a lot faster. So I'm just going to go quick over some of these picks that just happened before us. DK Metcalf, Tyler Boyd, Deshaun Watson, Robert Woods, David Montgomery, Phillip Lindsay, Michael Gallup, Jarvis Landry, Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, and we're back on the clock. So let's go through who's all here. Now, here's the round. This is the earliest I will even possibly look at a quarterback, but I'm not going to. I almost never look at a quarterback this early, but I'm just saying before this, never take someone before this. Just please do not ever take someone before this. But Kyler Murray's on the clock, but like I said, not going to right now. Now, the interesting pick right here is there is Mark Andrews still left at tight end. We do need a tight end. He's my 3rd/4th tight end, so it'd be interesting to get him here. Take a look at wide receivers. They're thinning out for sure. There is still Stephon Diggs, though. And that's what I'm thinking I might go here just because it is thinning out. That being said, for later round guys, next round or the round after, we could get Juju Smith-Schuster, Devontae Parker, Odell Beckham, which they are maybe a little overrated, but I'm fine with them as my wide receiver too. Now hold up, let's take a look at RBs before we solidify our pick with Mark Andrews. Top RB with consensus ADP is Darius Geis left, so that's not that great. There is David Johnson. I think David Johnson is an RB2 this next year. Why? In half PPR, he is definitely an RB2. The reason, because he catches the ball all the time. So he's definitely interesting. You know what? We're gonna go David Johnson. We're gonna stack our RBs. I do a strategy all the time. We've got another pick right here, so we'll probably get Mark Andrews anyways. Nope, he went literally right before us. And then Stephon Diggs went the one before that. So let's just look at all of them. Just look at all the players left. Just look at where we could really get here. Now, because Mark Andrews was taken, I'm going to go for a late round tight end because I like a couple of the late round guys. So let's take a look at wide receiver and see who we can get as our wide receiver too. Let's go ahead and just get Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, the thing is, he's always going to be at least a 1,000-yard receiver. Even last year with his injuries, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. And I think he'll bounce back at least a little bit from last year. So let's go ahead and take him. Now you got a nice second wide receiver. Pick is snaking back to us just a little bit. A couple players that I wanted are being taken. Another QB off the board, Dak Prescott. Another QB, Kyler Murray off the board. All right, so now I think we just go wide receiver again. Get a 3rd wide receiver. You can play flex. And I think that guy right now is Juju Smith-Schuster. Why? Because he'll take a step up, and this is 7th round. 7th round is usually where I like taking a shot on a guy who could have a big season but also could bust. And I think Juju can only go up from last season, so I think 7th round is a great spot to get him. Let's go get him here. He's our 3rd wide receiver now. It's going to snake right back to us. So they picked Devontae Parker and Josh Allen right before us. So now wide receiver has significantly thinned out. Significantly. There's very little left there. that being said, we have three guys who I'm pretty confident can at least be okay given the running backs we have. I mean, we have great 4 running backs, so I'm pretty confident with this team all around. Now we can take a look at the running backs, and Todd Gurley, he's still here. And that sounds surprising because it's 8th round, but people are a little too worried about his arthritis now. We got to keep in mind last year he still scored a ton of touchdowns, and with the Atlanta Falcons' high-powered offense, he could be in for a big year still. Even if he's not the same skill level as he used to be, he could still be in for an easy RB2 year. So we're going to go ahead and take him. Get all the RBs. That's what I'm doing right here. We have 3 wide receivers, so we're not hurting. Alright, so the audio for this is going to be a little bit worse for the rest of the video because my microphone actually just died. So let's look at the draft now. So Rob Gronkowski just went off the board. That's very interesting. Let's take a look at who we have left that we could pick. There is Darrell Henderson. Some people are interested in him, but they picked Cam Akers in the 2nd for a reason. They don't really trust in him. Not a lot left that looks really good to me, but that's what happens in these later rounds. If you're wondering what I'm doing with the QB situation, I'm going to get Drew Brees hopefully later because he's being seriously undervalued because of his age. But last year in 11 games, he threw 27 touchdowns. I don't see why he can't be great this season. So wide receiver, there still is late round guys that I like, such as Preston Williams, Jerry Jeudy still left on the board. We got 3 wide receivers. We've got 5 running backs, but I mean 2 of them could be in flex, so I don't feel worried about that. You can never have too many running backs. This is a hard decision to make. Let's go ahead and look at wide receiver. We're just going to get someone in the wide receiver, just hope they can go big. We're just going to go and get Jerry Jeudy here and just bank on his upside. So I said on my story a couple days ago to not actually draft rookie wide receivers, but this is a bit different because this is round 9 out of 13. So this is late round, and I didn't expect him to fall this far. So we're just going to go ahead and take Jerry Jeudy, bank on the upside. Get us a 4th wide receiver there. All right, so Alshon Jeffrey and Cam Newton were taken before us. Don't know what that CPU is doing there. So let's look at some of our late round tight end options. So Jared Cook is still there, which I like. He's probably going to be there for another round, so I'm going to take the risk and just hope that he's there again and take someone who's more supposed to go around this pick. So running back, there's pretty much nothing left, but we've got 5 good guys, so I'm not worried about that. There is Cam Akers, which is interesting. Might have to take him last for a couple of the last rounds. I've also got to say Jamison Crowder is very interesting. I'm going to go take Jamison Crowder. Why? Because they really don't have other wide receivers. Jamison Crowder started to do great second half last season, and now they don't even have Robbie Anderson. Yes, they got Denzel Mims, but he's a rookie, and he's late 2nd round guy. I think that Jamison Crowder is in for a better year even than last year, so he'll be pretty good. So it's back to us now. Most of the guys that I wanted have been taken, but let's check if Jared Cook is still there. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and take Jared Cook as our tight end, and we're going to stack him with Drew Brees right here. Oh, he's been taken. That's surprising. Ooh, maybe I should have gotten him. He was taking the pick right before us. That's a big oof right there. So what we're going to do, actually, we are going to wait until the last pick of the draft, which is next round, actually. And we're just going to take Drew Lock because no one else is really left. But you see right here, I have leverage because I have 5 good running backs. So teams that need running backs, there are teams that need running backs. I can guarantee you that. So if I really needed a quarterback, if the Drew Lock thing doesn't work out, I mean, it was a last round pick. Who cares? And I can plug and play quarterbacks each week. That's what I like to do with quarterbacks. So the last pick of the actual draft, so we have 4 wide receivers, 5 running backs, and a tight end. We don't need another tight end. I guarantee you that Jared Cook will at least be startable. I mean, I do like Mike Gesicki a lot, and he's still on here. But I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to take... Oh, dang. Jordan Howard is still on the board at this point. So I think we got to take him because he's the only running back left on... He's the only player left on this board that's the starter on their team other than quarterbacks and tight ends, obviously. So we got to take the starter. He could be getting 15 carries a game, so let's take Jordan Howard here. All right, so let's just hope that Drew Lock falls to us behind, then I'll read off what I got in the draft. Few interesting names off the board on these last rounds. Preston Williams finally went. So it's back to us, and let's check if Drew Lock is still there. So let's just look at the other options, though. I mean, wait. Oh, no, he's still there. He's still there. He's just lower than I thought he would be. So let's just look at a couple of the options, what we could take instead. There is Tom Brady, but, I mean, let's be honest. Tom Brady he hasn't been fantasy relevant for the past 2-3 years. And Tampa Bay, he does have better weapons there. He does. But Rob Gronkowski, I don't expect that much from him. So it's mainly Chris Godwin because he doesn't throw to the deep guy Mike Evans that much. So it might not be as deadly as you think it is. I mean, I think the Buccaneers will be good, but I don't think they're going to be 12-4 like everyone else thinks they are. So we're going to go ahead and take the shot on Drew Lock. And the reason that I like Drew Lock is because we'll know pretty quick, I feel like, if he's going to do well with all these new offensive weapons. If he doesn't do well in the first couple weeks, I can just drop him and just start plugging and playing quarterbacks. This is the last pick of the draft, so who cares? But if he does great the first couple weeks, we know right away. Tom Brady, I feel like it's going to be longer to tell. You won't really know which games he's going to blow up and stuff. So I think Drew Lock is a good pick right here. We're going to go ahead and take Drew Lock to end the draft. All right, so just draft is quick finishing up. All right, let's take a look at our team right here. We're going to go ahead and draft is glitching, so we're just going to go ahead and pause it so we can look at our team. All right, so quarterback, we have Drew Lock, who was taken with the last pick of the draft. Dalvin Cook we got with the first pick. Austin Eckler is our RB2 with the third pick in the draft. Chris Godwin is our wide receiver 1 with the second round pick. I love that. I mean, that you look at that right there. That's good 3 players. Odell Beckham with the 6th round. I mean, you look at that. Our 2 wide receivers and our 2 running backs. I mean, Dalvin Cook is a running back 1 for sure. Austin Eckler is for at least a running back 2. So, I mean, some people are going to say he's a running back 1, and I'm debating that. I've been debating that for a while now, whether he's in the running back 1 or a high running back 2. So, either way, we've got a great pair of running backs. And then wide receiver, Odell Beckham, he's definitely, you can still say he's a wide receiver 2. Even if he's a low wide receiver 2 at like 20 to 24, he's a wide receiver 2. And Chris Godwin, obviously a wide receiver 1. Then you got Jared Cook, good tight end. I don't know why his ADP is so low, but it's not just on Sleeper. It's on every app I use. He's super low. So we're going to look at our flex. Right now they put Kenyon Drake, which was our 4th pick, and David Johnson, which was our 5th pick, into the 2 flex spots. And right there you already see that's 2 more RB2s. So that's just, I mean, we've got absurdly good running backs. Sorry about that. And then you look at our bench, Juju Smith-Schuster, which let's say that Odell Beckham gets injured. I mean, he has an injury problem. Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm totally fine playing in the wide receiver 2 spot or a flex spot if the David Johnson thing doesn't turn out. I mean, that is kind of a risky pick with David Johnson. Then, next bench spot with the 8th pick in the draft, we have Todd Gurley. That's just for the 8th round, that is great value right there. A 5th running back. I mean, our running backs are stacked. I'll probably be playing 4 running backs every week, and I'll end up trading one of these guys probably if one of them doesn't turn out to be a bust, which I wouldn't be surprised if either Todd Gurley or David Johnson turns out to be a bust, but even if one of them does good, I'm stacked still. Then on our bench with the 9th pick, we have Jerry Jeudy. I don't absolutely love this pick just because it usually takes like 6 or 7 weeks for rookie wide receivers to really get it going. So wasn't my favorite pick of the draft, but there really wasn't anyone there that was that much better. Then with the 10th pick in the draft, we took Jamison Crowder. I like that one a lot, actually. Jamison Crowder, I think he's undervalued. You could get him in the 11th or 12th. I just didn't see anything I wanted more than him. I mean, how many players in the 11th or 12th round are you going to say are the starting wide receiver for their team? Not many at all. It's not like, I mean, Sam Darnold might not be the best quarterback, but he throws a decent amount of yards. So some of that's going to go to Jamison Crowder 100%. So you got to look at him as a decent plug and play flex option. So I think I've got decent wide receivers and I've got absolutely stacked running backs. So then with the last pick that wasn't a quarterback of mine, Jordan Howard, who is the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins now. If you guys weren't following, he is now the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins. So I love this team that I got right here, if I'm being honest. I'll probably end up posting this on my story just so people can see the team that I got here in case they don't want to watch the video. But I really like the team I got here, and I hope this helped you guys. So pretty much the biggest takeaway I wanted people to get out of this is just know with your first 4 picks, you really don't want to take a quarterback. You don't want to take a tight end unless, I don't know, I'd never like taking one of the early tight ends. I really don't, because there's late round tight ends you can get like Jared Cook. But yeah, so for those first 4 picks, I like taking so running back, no matter what, I take a running back in the first round. Unless Michael Thomas is falling to the 8th pick, I'm not taking a wide receiver. I'm taking a running back in the first round. I mean, it's not those first round running backs, they are on a different tier than every other running back. So you got to take a running back first round. And then 2nd through 4th round, you take 2 running backs and a wide receiver unless there's people left that you just absolutely have to take. Like a couple mock drafts ago, I ended up picking 4 running backs in the first 4 rounds because the guys that were left, I mean, I'm trying to remember who I got. I got Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, and Miles Sanders. If those 4 guys line up for you, you got to take them. You just have to. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure if you liked the video to like it. Share with people. It helps a lot when I'm trying to grow this channel right here. And, yeah. And also, thanks everyone for 3,000 on Instagram. It means a lot to me. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching.